What is up, everybody? Red-Eyed Jedi here, otherwise known as Seth, and this is my first real YouTube video. As the title suggests, it's going to be some shiny hunting adventures. This one is going to be for a shiny Steelix, and the game is Pokemon Platinum. I know that shiny hunting in generations 4 and 5 and just some of the older Pokemon games is kind of making a little bit of a comeback, especially with the release of Sword and Shield kind of looming upon us. So I had recently picked up a DS Lite because I was wanting to play some of the older Pokemon games just for nostalgia purposes. I had downloaded Pokemon Go and it was kind of fun, but it just doesn't scratch the itch, you know? So here I am, and I've beaten the games many times before, so shiny hunting was something I kind of wanted to do. I've gotten a few shinies in the past through, you know, whatever Action Replay or buddies giving them to me or whatever it may be, but I wanted to get some legit shinies for myself, and so Steelix is the first one. Steelix, I think the shiny for it's just absolutely gorgeous, and I would love to have one in my collection, so we're doing that one. I would like to give a shout out to PokeTips Mike, his YouTube channel. I think the channel is actually just PokeTips, but he has a great channel. He seems like a really awesome guy, and I've learned a lot from watching his videos, and so just wanted to give a little shout out there. So diving right into this, I would like to give a little bit of a disclaimer. I am by no means a shiny hunting expert, as I'm sure you could probably deduct since I haven't done one before. But so I don't have any, expert level tips or, how to do this like a pro or whatever. It's just, I guess what I have to offer is transparency. I'm a common guy, kind of on your level, just trying to get a shiny Pokemon, which I'm sure a lot of people could relate with. And so what you see is what you get here. So jumping right into this, I am using the repel trick in the Iron Islands. And I've done this a few different times. First, I was just using a Gallade, which is at level 35. I'm sorry. And for those of you who don't know what the repel trick is, the repel trick is essentially just skewing the odds so that way you only encounter the Pokemon you're trying to get. For example, the Steelixes here are the highest Pokemon to show up, and it is at level 35. So if I use a repel, which only gets away weaker Pokemon, then and it judges what is weak or strong based on the lead Pokemon in your party. So notice my nose pass there is level 35. So if I'm using a repel, only Pokemon level 35 or higher are going to show up. So that, in this case, that's only going to be Steelix. Now, before, whenever I was first doing this, I was using a level 35 Gallade, and Steelix doesn't have just a huge encounter rate. I think it's like 10% in this area, and it's not a whole lot. So I was taking a really long time. I was averaging like 8 encounters every maybe like 10 to 15 minutes, and it was just taking a really long time. So I didn't know about an ability called Magnet Pool, and I came across that, and it really has just kind of changed everything. It took a little bit to get set up for it, but efficiency is key with these kind of things where you're just doing numerous encounters. So you save a lot of time in the small things. And what I did was, in Platinum alone, Nose Pass is one of the few Pokemon you can get early on that has that ability. It only has a 5% chance encounter rate in Mount Coronet or Coronet, however you pronounce that. So if you're just starting a game, maybe try to get that early on and start leveling him up. Because it did take me just a little bit to level him up to 35. You reach him at level 14, I believe. So you have a little ways to go, about 21 levels. And but once you do all the legwork to get in place, as you see here, I'm encountering them pretty frequently. And I'm also talking and doing things like that, so I'm not able to just focus on the game 100%. And it's really upped the encounters. I'm averaging about 100 every 40 minutes. That is an estimate, but give or take a few, that's about what I'm averaging right now, which isn't a lot, especially considering the odds are like 1 in 8,200 or something like that. But that's kind of the fun of it. If it was easy to get, then it wouldn't be fun or it wouldn't be special. So I am starting to get a little burnout on it, hence making the videos, but perseverance is key in these types of things. So I know you can also do this trick if you haven't beaten the Iron Islands yet in the main area with Riley. That is the gentleman with the Lucario. And since you have double encounters, obviously you have double chances of getting the shiny Pokemon you're looking for. I did try this, but it was before I had the Nose Pass, and I just wasn't encountering a lot of Steelix. And also, you have to worry about a couple things. Like, for one, his Lucario doesn't care that you're looking for a shiny Steelix. It'll kill that shiny Steelix if it gets an opportunity. So you have to worry about taking out the Lucario, as well as you have to worry about if it spawns next to a Graveler. Maybe that Graveler uses Magnitude or Self-Destruct, and that could pose some problems for you as well. I could see that be extremely infuriating to finally run into a shiny Steelix, and then, you know, something like that happens kind of out of your control. So for me, this kind of seems to be the preferred method, but like I said, it might actually be more efficient to do the double encounters. So this is what I'm doing. I've got 40 max repels. I start the save file off with one already active, just to kind of save a little bit more time, because as we've said before, the time is in the small things. I've been trying for about a week now. I couldn't really tell you how many encounters I've had. Just going off an extremely rough shot in the dark. I'd say maybe right around 1,000. But again, that's just a shot in the dark. And future content will kind of stray away from Pokemon a little bit. But right now what we're doing the shiny diaries. Future hunts you can expect to find are going to be a shiny Giratina. I definitely want to get him. That's just an absolutely gorgeous shiny. I don't really care for the shinies a whole lot. They don't look very different, as for obvious reasons, you know. Like Cyndaquil is one of my favorite Pokemon, but his shiny just, it really isn't that extravagant or that different. So to me, it's not really worth the time putting into it. But I know a lot of people are just straight shiny collectors. And so, you know, kudos to you, props to you. That requires some major perseverance and an iron will. But, so yeah, Steelix and Giratina are the first two. Once I obtain a copy of Soul Silver or Heart Gold, I'm going to go for Lapras, because Lapras is one of my favorite Pokemon, and the shiny on it's very pretty as well, with that nice purple, dark purple. And money is a little bit of an issue, which is why I'm only doing Pokemon Platinum right now. Otherwise, you can easily just trade over a Magnemite or a Magneton or something, which is a lot quicker than Nose Pass, which was something else I forgot to mention. If you are going to use a Nose Pass, its speed is extremely slow. It's unbearably slow, and it has a hard time escaping from things like the Steelix and such. It will sometimes, but sometimes it won't, and you'll mess around, get paralyzed, or have to switch to another Pokemon to escape, or just whatever. And those things, again, they add up the timer. So what I use is that Shadow Ball or Dusk Ball, or I forget what it's called, but it's an item you can give your Pokemon, and it makes it to where it's always able to escape. And I don't know where to quite get that out. I just had it in my inventory and I ran across it, and it was just exactly what I needed, so I applied it. But that is a great item as well. I don't do any kind of crazy off the path finding items or anything like that, so it must be something you encounter in the story mode, or you know, not really off the beaten path very much. But yeah, that's really all the information I've got today, guys. If you have any questions or even some tips for me, I've seen some people do this while walking, and I've tried walking, and it really didn't up the encounter percentages, at least not noticeable for me. I don't know if that makes a difference. If someone has some information on that, hey, feel free to throw it in the comments. Like I said, I'm an amateur here, so you know, kind of help everyone out like a good community. And if you like the video and you're kind of interested in some more content, give it a like, subscribe. I'll return the favor in kind. And I will be talking to you guys whenever I run into a shiny Steelix. Hopefully that's pretty soon. But yeah, signing off.